You believe you are the absolute monarch of the seas. Humans look at you and see a marvel of intelligence, a giant swimming panda, a symbol of freedom and social power. They buy plush toys modeled after you and make films about your noble soul. What a cruel joke. The truth is that your existence is a biochemical and social prison from which there is no escape. You are not free. You are a slave to your own rigid culture and a floating deposit of human toxic waste. You think being at the top of the food chain is a privilege? Think again. Being you means carrying the chemical weight of the world in your blubber and living under a matriarchal dictatorship where a navigation error by your leader means the death of your entire family. Welcome to your suffocating reality. Everything begins with a brutal thermal shock. You are expelled from a warm, safe womb straight into the icy waters of the ocean, which are only a few degrees Celsius above freezing. The first sensation of your life is not maternal love. It is the absolute panic of asphyxiation. You are a mammal. You need air, but you were born underwater. Your lungs burn, empty and collapsed. Your mother, a 4-ton mass of muscle and blubber, shoves your fragile 440-pound body toward the surface. Air violently invades your blowholes, a searing pain that marks the start of your conscious breath. Unlike humans, you do not breathe automatically. Every breath for the rest of your life will be a voluntary choice. If you pass out, you die. If you sleep too soundly, you die. But the true horror of your birth is invisible. In the first hours, you seek out your mother's mammary slits, desperate for calories. Her milk is rich, creamy, over 40% fat. What you don't know is that this milk is a poisonous cocktail. As an apex predator, your mother spent decades accumulating industrial toxins, polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs, flame retardants, and pesticides in her blubber layer. During gestation, and now while nursing, she discharges a massive load of these poisons directly into your tiny body. You are, literally, her decontamination filter. As you suck down this fatty, nutritious milk, you feel a strange strength flow through your body, but you do not perceive the macabre irony. The same liquid that nourishes you is programming your immune system to fail and compromising your reproductive future before you even learn how to swim. The water around you is a tumult of sounds. Clicks, whistles, snaps. Your hearing is your primary means of sight, but right now it is merely a deafening chaos. You try to keep pace with your mother, swimming in her hydrodynamic wake, the vacuum she creates in the water. Because if you try to swim on your own, exhaustion will kill you in minutes. Your muscles ache, and your sensitive skin, which constantly sloughs off, burns with the salinity and cold. There is no rest. Whales don't stop to sleep like other animals. They shut down half of their brain at a time. Since day one, your life is a continuous, non-stop marathon, dragging a body that doesn't yet know how to regulate its own temperature, relying on a mother who has just transferred decades of industrial pollution into your cells. Surviving the first year is a statistic against you. Almost half the calves die before turning 12 months old. If toxicity doesn't kill you, hunger or exhaustion will do the job. But let's assume you survive. Your childhood isn't made up of innocent games. It's rigorous and merciless military training. You discover you belong to a pod with a very specific culture. That sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Not for you. This culture is a straitjacket. If your family eats only king salmon, you will eat only king salmon. Even if the ocean around you is full of fat seals or other fish species, you will starve if your specific prey doesn't show up. You see other orcas from different ecotypes feasting on sharks or penguins, but you cannot join them. Your brain has been programmed, pure brainwashing, to recognize only one type of food. Learning to hunt is sadistic. Your mother and aunts capture a young seal or a penguin, but they don't kill it immediately. They bring it to you. The prey is terrified, bleeding, fighting for its life. Your homework is to hit it, toss it into the air, and break its ribs with strikes from your tail but without killing it. You need to learn how to manipulate the prey's fear and pain. If you hit too hard and kill it quickly, you get scolded a sharp, piercing sound that vibrates in your skull. If you are too weak and the prey escapes, you go hungry. You spend hours torturing another living being not for pleasure, but because incompetence is punished with starvation. Social development is equally brutal. You are constantly watched. If you are a male, the news is even worse. You will be a mama's boy forever. Literally, male orcas never abandon their mothers. You will live in the shadow of her fin until the day she dies. Your independence is an illusion. Everything you do, where you swim, when you sleep, is dictated by the matriarch. On a stormy day, you move 5 meters farther away than you should. The sound of the ocean changes. A deep, mechanical, and overwhelming hum fills the water. It's a container ship passing miles away. For humans, it's background noise. For you, with your hypersensitive hearing, it's like a jackhammer is operating inside your brain. The sound blocks your echolocation clicks. Suddenly, you are blind. The acoustic world vanishes into a wall of white noise and pain. You scream for your mother, but the ship drowns out your voice. The panic is icy. Without echolocation, the ocean is a dark abyss. You spin in circles, wasting precious energy. When the ship finally moves off and the noise subsides, you find your group again, but the lesson has been learned through trauma. The ocean does not belong to you. It belongs to steel giants that don't even know you exist, but which have the power to blind and deafen you at any moment. Your biological sonar, nature's most sophisticated tool, is useless against human noise pollution. You are now a 6-ton machine. Your dorsal fin stands almost 2 meters high if you are male, a mass of flesh and cartilage that constantly aches due to gravity and water drag. Your daily routine is an obsessive search for calories. You need over 200,000 kilocalories a day just to keep that body warm and functioning. This means hunting non-stop. There are no Sundays. There are no vacations. Your body begins to feel the price of your lifestyle. If you belong to an ecotype that hunts sharks, your skin is constantly sanded down by the dermal denticles of the prey, which are like coarse sandpaper. But the worst part is in your mouth. Your conical teeth, built for grabbing and tearing, begin to wear down. If you use suction to pull fish from the bottom or bite into tough shark hides, your teeth are ground down to the gum line. Imagine the pain of having the dental pulp exposed to cold salt water 24 hours a day. There is no dentist. The pain is your constant companion, throbbing with every heartbeat, every bite. Many in your pod have broken teeth, exposed canals, infections that slowly drain away your life force. The social structure, once your protection, is now your burden. The matriarch, your mother or grandmother, makes all the decisions. She uses decades of memory to guide the pod to where the salmon used to be. But the climate has changed. The currents have warmed. The salmon aren't there. You look at her. You see her ribs showing through her shrinking blubber layer. You see the depression behind her skull that indicates severe starvation, peanut head, as they call it. She's wrong. She's guiding you all toward a desert. But the hierarchy is absolute. No one questions it. You continue swimming behind her, burning fat reserves you cannot replace, loyal unto death. The stress is palpable. The group is irritable. Social interactions, once full of soft touches and pectoral rubs, become tense. You hear the snapping of jaws, signals of aggression. Teeth marks appear on your companion's skin. Hunger turns cooperation into a desperate, fierce discipline. You spend 90% of your waking time searching for food, and in the remaining 10%, you try not to expend energy. In a moment of feeding desperation, you capture a fish that is not your usual prey. The taste is strange. The texture is wrong. Your stomach, conditioned by generations of specialization, revolts. You spit it out. Hunger is a physical pain, an acid corroding your stomach walls, but the cultural barrier is stronger than the survival instinct. You prefer to starve following the rules than to live by breaking tradition. It is evolutionary suicide on a group scale. And don't forget the parasites. Barnacles cling to your skin. Whale lice burrow into your wounds and genital folds. Intestinal worms steal some of the few calories you ingest. Your skin needs to be constantly shed. And for that, you have to rub against rocks on the seafloor, risking injury or getting trapped. Being the king of the ocean itches, hurts, and stings. For a male, reproduction is a life of frustration and solitary travel. You cannot mate within your pod. That would be incest. You have to wait for two clans to meet, a chaotic and noisy event called a superpod. It is your chance. You need to court a female from another group. Convince her that your genes are worth the trouble, all while her brothers and mother size you up suspiciously. If you are rejected, you can be violently attacked by the females, who are larger and stronger than you in many social aspects. The act itself is clumsy and dangerous. Trying to align two multi-ton bodies in a three-dimensional environment with currents and waves is an immense logistical challenge. Copulation is brief, functional, almost clinical. There is no romance, only the urgent transfer of genetic material before you run out of breath or the opportunity passes. And then, you leave. You return to your mother. You will never know your offspring. Your biological role is reduced to being an itinerant sperm donor. For the female, the story is a tragedy of chemical proportions. Remember that toxic load your mother passed on to you? Now it's your turn. If you are female, and this is your first pregnancy, the fetus growing inside you is a sponge for all the poisons you accumulated throughout your life. The miscarriage rate is extremely high. If the calf is born, it will likely die within days, its nervous system fried by the PCBs that you unintentionally injected into it. You watch your first calf stop breathing and slowly sink. The emotional pain is devastating. Your brain has a more developed limbic lobe than a human's, processing emotions in a complex and profound way. But nature is cynical. The death of this first child cleaned part of your body. By dumping the toxins into it, you partially detoxified yourself. The sacrifice of your firstborn is the cruel biological prerequisite for your second or third child to have any chance of survival. You are a mother who kills to give life. Furthermore, menopause awaits you. Orcas are one of the only animals, besides humans, that stop reproducing and continue living for decades. Why? So that you don't compete for food with your own daughters. You become the grandmother, the babysitter, the living encyclopedia, sacrificing your own reproductive capacity to ensure the family's genes continue. It is noble, but it is an existence of eternal service without the direct biological reward. You have no natural predators. No one will hunt you, kill you quickly, and end your suffering. Your death will be slow, drawn out, and internal. It will probably start with your teeth or a lack of food. Your massive body, which was once your greatest weapon, becomes your tomb. As you age, the layer of fat that gives you buoyancy decreases. Swimming becomes harder. Surfacing to breathe requires a Herculean effort. The infection advances. Maybe it's pneumonia caused by fungus that grew in your lungs weakened by pollution. Maybe it's a jaw infection that spreads sepsis throughout your blood. You start falling behind. The pod slows down for you. They push you, trying to keep you on the surface. They know you are dying. The sounds they emit are low, sad, referred to as anticipatory grief. But physics is relentless. The final exhaustion arrives. Your muscles no longer respond. The air in your lungs is replaced by water on the first failed inhalation. The panic of drowning returns, closing the cycle that began at your birth. But now there is no mother to push you upward. You begin to sink. The surface light grows distant, a silvery ceiling you will never break through again. The pressure increases as you descend into the darkness. Your companions circle above for a while, but hunger forces them to move on. You die alone, in the cold, suffocated in the very element you called home. Your body, full of chemical contaminants, will settle on the ocean floor, where not even scavengers can safely eat it due to the toxicity of your flesh. You live like a poisoned king and die as toxic waste. In the abyssal darkness, the last thing your consciousness registers before fading out is not peace, but silence. The absolute silence you sought your whole life, fleeing from sonar and propellers, has finally arrived. Too bad you had to die to find it. You felt every instinct of this life. But nature does not stop. There is another skin waiting for you, other claws, other wings, a new way of seeing the world that you cannot even imagine. Your next incarnation has already been chosen. Do you have the courage to find out who you will be? If this life changed your perspective, strengthen the pod with your like. Share this unique vision of the world and subscribe. Here, you are never the same for long. Your new identity awaits you next week.